Hi, it's Lynne with Softsquares. It is Saturday, which means it's time for the Saturday stitch-uation, where we talk about all things quilting in my world. I have some special announcements and something at the end you don't want to miss. Thanks for joining me. This is an update that I do on Saturdays. I missed last Saturday, didn't have an update, but that's what the stitch-uation is. It's not about tutorials, it's about updates on things I'm working on, news, different projects I'm on. As you can see, I finally have a new project on the back wall. This is the Germany quilt that I'm working on. It is super easy, and I'll give you a quick rundown on how to make this because it is a no pattern quilt, super easy. It just basically is a 4-patch with trim, a solid block, and another solid block. So I've got a print here and I have an embroidery here, and then I just laid them out so they're coming out on an angle like this, and there will be black sashing running between the rows, and then a black inner border, and then the outer border will be a little bit of this. So super easy. You can make it as big or little as you want. My finished blocks on these are actually 8.5, so just kind of backtrack into that as to how wide you want your sashing. My blocks, I believe, started out at 4 inches, and then I put a 2.5-inch sashing in there, and then I had to trim it down just a tiny bit and make it 8.5. So this is coming along quite nicely, and this is the progress of the Germany quilt. I have one more block that I'm working on for the embroidery. It's in the machine, last one I have, and then I'll be putting my rows together. So we're going to talk a little bit about embroidery because I want to show you how that was coming together. I have a little clip right here I'm going to show you of the embroidery as I'm working on it. I find it fascinating, and if you have an embroidery machine or have ever been curious or are thinking about buying one, this is to show you what you can expect. I'm not trying to sell a machine, I'm just telling you why I love mine and how it's fun to just watch the process. I do have some tips for you as far as what would be the best way to get the best results with an embroidery machine. And first of all, it's to have a good machine and a good embroidery file. Some of them are not digitized very well, and the stitch can just come out just simply because the program is not written right. So some different places that you can get embroidery files would be Sweet Pea, JuJu Designs, Anita Gooddesign, Embroidery Library, Linnie Pinnie, Kimberbell, Dime, Floriani, OES. You can also make your own, and there's others. So I will put this list in the description in case you wanted to go back and revisit that. Those are just some really good resources for getting some good digitized embroidery files, and there are others. So in addition to the machine and the file, you need a really good embroidery needle. So I was having some issues earlier. I was using a regular needle in my machine, and usually it works, but not always, and I did switch to a really high quality quilting, or sorry, embroidery needle. The package will specifically say embroidery, and in my case the needle is gold. It has a little finer point, and it's working better for what I need. And so you need if not a high quality needle like that, at least a new needle for your project, because that will make a big difference. You also need good thread. There's different types of thread you can use. Some of them, just depending on how you're going to use it, would be better than other applications, and I'm not going to go into that because it's just a big rabbit hole. There's so much to it, but there are different types of thread, things that they are made from, different companies that make them, different thicknesses, but you want a high quality thread that can handle your machine, because if your machine gets going really fast and that thread is pulling through and it's not high quality, it may fray, and then you're going to have problems with breaking, with frayed threads, just a little frustration. So don't go with the cheapest thread, is what I'm saying on that one. And then I have a thread stand that I use. It really helps me. I put it on the side of the machine. I'll show you what that looks like. This guy right here has a telescoping side. I have one of these at each of my machines, especially my embroidery machine. So it can handle pretty much any spool thread, doesn't have, it can even be taller. But you thread it up through here and then you thread it through your machine. I'm finding that having this where it's coming from on top of the machine before it goes down in instead of parallel to, like coming off of the top, my threads are cooperating with my machine better, and I can also use larger spools. So something to think about, and you can get these anywhere. I'm gonna guess you can even find them on Amazon, but quilt stores will have them too. Okay, and the last thing that I just discovered that I can't believe I didn't have this sooner is I got myself a magnifying glass with a ring light, and it's mounted right in front of my machine. Because even though the machine is self-guided, I just have to change the thread and start and stop and, you know, change the bobbin and do the things it asks me to do. But I'm not working. But the point is, I need to see what's going on. I also need to see to clip stitches. I also need to just make sure the stitches are coming out okay. As we get older, our eyes are not as good, specifically mine. So the magnifying glass makes a huge difference. And I'll show you some footage where I'm using that, and you can see for yourself if you like it and why I like it. We're going to talk about progress on my quilt. So I just showed you the progress on this one. Underneath it is my summer quilt. I just left it on the wall. I haven't done anything new to it. So it's still ready for me to join these strips are just laid out where they need to go, and then put their sashing between borders, and then I'm done. But right now this is a higher priority. So that's why they're both up on the wall, but the summer quilt is still happening. It's just under everything. And this is the finished project of what it's supposed to look like for the summer quilt. So that's what that is. I have finally taken off all the little quilts I had on the wall. I have a few still here, but I finally was able to move them around the room, which is where I wanted to put them, which freed up my wall. And I've also been working a lot on other projects. As you know, I am putting together, or if you don't know, putting together some boxes now. You could go to softsquares.com to see more about those, but I want to give you a little more information about those. But I've had just like an explosion in my sewing area, and between not being able to get to my wall, not being able to get to my surface because of all the things, I couldn't work. So now I'm able to get through that. But I have 5 boxes that I am selling. 2 of them are holiday advent boxes for quilters, and I'll talk more about those in a minute. One of them is a advent box for non-quilters, so there will not be anything quilting related. It's geared towards women. All of these are. So those 3 boxes will ship mid-October, 1st of November at the latest. And the 4th box is a mystery box that is for quilters, and it is fabric and patterns, and that will ship within a week of when you order it. And the last box I have is a birthday countdown box that is also non-quilters, so there's 2 out of the 5 that are non-quilting boxes. The birthday countdown is a 12-day countdown to a birthday. You have the option to add a gift card. You'll see more information on that when you look into that on my website. But if you decide to do this for yourself, it will just go to your shipping address. And if you decide to wait, or not wait, if you decide to give it to somebody else, in the description or your notes, please tell me who it is for and their address. Otherwise, I'm going to assume it's for you and your address. But I will ship them within a week of getting them, unless you give me special instructions to hold on to them. Like, I have some orders right now where people have asked me to hold on to a little bit later to send them out, just due to the timing of the birthday. They're really getting ahead of things on planning. So if it's last minute, it's still going to go out within a week. But if you give me a specific date, I can try to send it closer to that date. Just do some planning ahead of time. So anyway, I'm going to talk about what the boxes are now, okay? The very first box is this one. It's gigantic. It is box B. What this is out of the two Advent boxes that I'm doing, box A and box B together combined give you everything that I wanted to give you in one box, but it was too unreasonable, too big, and not everyone has a desire to spend that much money on two boxes. So there is a way to get all that information by buying both boxes, or you can buy whichever of the two you want. You can even buy one now and one later if it's more affordable to break it up that way. And by the way, PayPal has a way of breaking up your payments into 4 payments. Just a side note, if that's something that helps you out. But box B is the biggest of all the boxes, and it's a little bit more money than box A, not by much. It just means there's going to be a little more value in it. Obviously things will be a little bulkier that are in this one, but the value of everything in the boxes will be a lot higher than what you're paying for them. So box A is this box. Now, big things come in little boxes, so this is going to be just as valuable, if not more, but you won't have as many bulky things. Again, between the two boxes, you will not get any duplicates, and you'll get everything I originally wanted you to have. But just know, these boxes are heavy in fabric and patterns and useful things for sewing and quilting. So they're not, and there will be projects in there, there's going to be thread, there's going to be a lot of things in there that I want to see when I have a box. Last year, if you go back through my videos, if you didn't happen to see these, you'll see that I spent the whole month of December Advent boxes. Most of them were quilting and sewing boxes, and out of those there was only one that I was truly really impressed with, and I decided to model these boxes after that because I wanted to give you guys an option to get things that I would be interested in, which are real quilting things with substantial value, and I didn't want all the knick-knacky things. Don't get me wrong, there will be some of those in here, but they're going to be mixed with other things. Now, there's more than 25 items per box. They will be individually wrapped and numbered. You can open it all at once, or you can open it, you know, a day at a time. I was going to wrap every single thing individually, and there'd be more than 25 items, but I've decided just to combine things. So you'll have 25 packages, and you'll have very possibly more than one thing in a package. Just, it made more sense to do that in case you wanted to open it in order and have all the pieces that might go with that particular thing. That made sense? Anyway, that's what's going to happen. Everything inside will be individually wrapped and numbered, and you can have it be a surprise, or the whole thing can be a surprise. I don't plan on doing a box unveiling. If I do, I will let you know. I will also give you a heads up so that if you have the box coming for yourself, it's not a spoiler alert. So right now I'm not planning on doing that, but if anyone wants to do that with their box, let me know and we'll share it here. This is the Advent box for the non-quilter. There will not be fabric, there will not be patterns, there will be projects in the quilting boxes. There might be some sort of an activity in here, but these are going to be nice things geared towards women that are going to be in this box. Again, everything will be wrapped and numbered 1 through 25. All 3 of those boxes ship mid-October to 1st of November. Oh, and by the way, there's a limited number on those, so once they're gone, they're gone. The next box I have is, I call it the Oh Goodie box. This is my mystery box. This box is for what will be shipped out within a week of when you order it. It will be full of fabric and patterns, and it's a good size box. I took dimensions down. This one is 13 by 10 by 4, so it's a good size box. And I did a drawing about 2 weeks ago, and the gal that won the drawing received her stuff, and it was actually in the goodie box, and she did an unboxing of that, and her video is posted to my YouTube channel, and you can see how much stuff she's able to pull out of it. It will be something similar to that. She got more notions than what I'll be doing in the mystery box, but the point is this is the box, this is the size, this is the mystery box. And the last box that I have is the birthday countdown box. is this one. Now there's only limited number of these boxes that I could get my hands on, so but this is something I'll be doing regardless of how many of these boxes that I have. I have some other options for how to fulfill the orders that will be in something that won't look quite the same as this, but they'll be the same concept. But it has 12 little drawers in here, and it's a countdown. This is actually a big empty space. So there'll be something cute in each of the drawers. It's geared for women. It's non-quilting. On this, you have an option to add a gift certificate to it, and their information on that is on the listing. And if you do that, then I will put the gift certificate over here and in the envelope for their birthday. You can put a personal message on the order, and I'll put that in the card that will be over here for their birthday, and this will be just a fun little 12-day countdown to their birthday. So once these boxes are gone, I will be doing it with just a bunch of small little boxes in a really cute decorative box. So the outside might change, but the way that the boxes work won't. So again, this is geared towards women, so keep that in mind, and non-quilting. Nothing in it will be quilting related. I've been talking about this for a while, but I'm slowly in the process of getting items listed on my softsquares website. So in addition to the boxes, because you have to go there for any of these boxes, which is softsquares.com. In addition to the boxes, there are other categories. I do sell quilts and pillowcases and things like that on there. But for the quilter, you would probably be more interested in fabric and notions and patterns. I will be getting things listed on there soon, so keep checking for that, but just know things are going to be uploaded there. I also have a shop on Etsy. You cannot get the boxes on Etsy, but more than likely the inventory for everything else will be on both sites. They have a way of integrating, so we'll see if that actually works that way. However, my t-shirts that I have with all the cute sayings that you guys had given me, you can only get those on Etsy. The reason for that is because I work with a printing partner called Printful, and I was able to upload the design, pick the t-shirt, and give you a color range. So when you go in to purchase your shirt, the order goes to them, and you're gonna get your own shirt, whatever shirt you want, whatever color you want, and whatever design on it. So they print it as you order it, and then they ship it. So it does take a couple weeks to get it. I don't personally print it. So just keep in mind, some colors are not the best for certain things. Like, don't put white on a color, a shirt that's this light. In fact, this is even a little light for this. But just, you know, kind of think about the color of the shirt that you're putting it on. I had one bad review because the gal wasn't happy with the white on light color. Anyway, please don't do that to me. So anyway, that is only on Etsy. So there's a couple things that are different. Boxes only on softsquares.com. T-shirts are only on Etsy, but everything else is going to be on both, or is on both. Now, another thing I need you to know is I have a Facebook page for softsquares. You probably don't even know that because I haven't talked about it, I haven't done anything with it. I would really love for you guys to share projects and things with me, and I have a Facebook group for donation and swapping of fabric. This is kind of a self-monitored group, so if you have something you need to give away or want to give away, or you're looking for like some older fabric or something very, very specific, this is a great place to go. Everyone just kind of works together. It hasn't been as active as it has in the past, but it is a great resource for free fabric. It's not a place to sell stuff. The only money that would possibly be involved is if you're asked to pay for shipping to get something to you, and that's something that you as the seller and the buyer can work out together. Other than that, it's just an exchange, okay? And you don't have to equally exchange. You can just say, I need that, and the person goes, okay, and off it goes. So however you want to work that out with them, but I encourage you to check that out. You can get to it from the Softsquares Facebook page. I'm also on the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. Links for all these are going to be in the description below, but if you like my content, like anything I'm doing, want to help support me and my channel, let me know. This has been a hobby that I'm gearing up and really trying to support myself with, so your support would be greatly appreciated. And all the links that are in the descriptions are affiliate links, and most of them I get a little bit of a commission if you use my link. So it helps me out a lot if you find something that you need and it happens to be with someone I'm affiliated with, if you use my link. And some of those links give you discounts, or there's a description on how to get a discount next to the link. So on all of my videos, it will have all of these links and information on those. All right, I'm getting things set up for shipping. I have not done a ton of shipping. I've been not comfortable with shipping out of the United States just due to the customs and the price of the shipping. However, I am open to shipping out of the US if you are one of those people that would like something, because right now I've limited these boxes to only US customers, in fact everything. But if you are out of the US and you want something, please reach out to me and we'll figure it out, because I want to be able to accommodate you, where up until this point I have just said it's just too hard for me and we're not going to do that. So last thing I have for you, which is the reason I wanted you to wait till the end, and I appreciate you being here if you still are, but I am going to do a contest. This is a random contest just because. So I did the Oh Goodie box that was given away 2 weeks ago. She did claim it, she received it. And again, her video is posted on my Facebook page, so when you go to Softsquares Facebook, you'll see that video. But what I'm doing is I have this, and I don't know if this looks familiar to anybody. This is the Creative Notions subscription bag. And they have a great little subscription service. This is an older bag. I was able to get my hands on a couple of them, and so I'm going to give this away for free. And if you want to see what's in here, this is the April 2022 bag, so you can go back through my videos and you can see what I opened. But I will give you a hint, there is some hand embroidery in here, so it kind of follows the embroidery theme. But this stuff is so cool. She gives you fabric. There's a fat quarter bundle in here. She gives you a notion, patterns, instructions. There's all kinds of things. Let me take a little peek in here without telling you what's in there, because I really want it to be a surprise. Yeah, there's a hand applique in here. Oh, there's a project in here. So in addition to quilting, there's things, and this is a really, really fun subscription. If you're interested in that, just go to Creative Notions Quilt Shop.com and be sure to give them my name in the comments, and tells them how you found them, and lets her know that you saw it on me. But point is I'm giving 3 of these away. So I'm going to do a random drawing. I will announce it next Saturday in the stitch-uation. You don't have to pay for shipping or anything. I'm just going to send it to you, but you have to play to win. So the rules are you have to be 18 years old. I do need it to be a US mailing address. You do have to be a visible subscriber, which I talked about in a couple videos back, but there's a gal who does a really, really good video on how to make your settings public, and that is Arkansas Gals. That's Andrea. She does a lot of box openings and quilting sew-alongs. She has a video on how to make your settings public, and I will put that in the description below to help you if you don't know how to do that. But I have to see you're a subscriber or I can't verify, and then you're excluded from the contest. So make sure you're a visible subscriber. And then the next thing is you have to claim it by the following Friday. So you have to get all your entries in. Saturday I will announce the winner. You have until the following Friday to claim it. The next day on the stitch-uation I will pick another one if that does not happen. Does that make sense? So, but there's a secret word. There's always a secret word, and you have to put it in a sentence. I don't want you just to put the word in there, because some people don't actually follow the rules and enter contests. They just enter what they think is a contest, and you guys are following the rules. So to do that, you have to use the word color in a sentence in the comments below. And so there's that. Remember, I'm taking 3 winners. If you want to see what's in this bag, it is the April 2022 bag from Creative Notions, and I do have a box opening video for that in my library. think that's it for now, guys. Sorry I had so many announcements. Main thing is I really want you to know where to get things, so there'll be links in the description below. If you're interested in the holiday boxes, please keep in mind that they are limited. They are selling, but they are on my website, which is softsquares.com, and don't forget to check out the Facebook page for Softsquares. And I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for helping my channel to grow, and I hope to see you soon.